Wow, Doris, that's a serious background.
and,
It's like serious.
and we are live. Yes, one of our district's members created that, and I sent it to her. And when they did the update, I lost my background, so I have to get that on there. So, well, good morning. Welcome to Wake Up with Toastmasters. I am Jennifer Smith, Division D Director for District 115. And I have my lovely co-host from Canada, Doris. Yay. And we're super excited to have guests from around the world on our show this morning. So excited. We have Fursey, like Jersey, on, and he is actually one of the finalists out of how many people, Fursey, for the World Champion of Public Speaking?
Well, we had 8 finalists, but as I understand it, there were 35,000 initial contestants. Is that right, Doris?
Wow. So you were the top 8. That's it. That's almost like watching a reality show and who's going to come out on top. So, and then we have Zoe. Zoe, I didn't get a chance to talk to you before. Are you in China as well?
Yes, I'm in China, and I'm from the same club with Fursey in Hangzhou.
Well, welcome. It's so great to see you. Doris and I had a discussion last night, and she's going to lead off with the questions while I go in the background and do some sharing of our show.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jennifer. Fursey, it's so wonderful to have you joining us this morning. And I understand it's 10 p.m. at night in China. So thank you for, not having all the Z's that you usually have on a regular night. We surely appreciate it. Our first question we always ask all our guests, Fursey, tell us about your first meeting in Toastmasters.
Oh, that's a good question. Does everybody remember their first meeting? I gotta tell you, I was pretty daunted in my first meeting. I'm walking into a place and I'm not even sure I was going in the right building, and had to go through the back door and through this hallway, and you got to remember, I was in China and I don't speak a lick of Chinese. I mean, I can't even order food. I have to go to restaurants that have pictures on the wall and I got to point. And so I don't know where I'm going. I didn't even really know what Toastmasters was. I'm following the lead of this person I met. I go in there. I don't know what's happening. I just sit off in the back and I just kept my mouth shut, and 2 ears open and 1 mouth shut. But I had a great time. I thought the people were friendly. It was there in Shanghai, China. And I loved it. And obviously, here I am.
I know you are a theater teacher. Now, what brought you into the Toastmasters organization? What made you feel that you needed Toastmasters? Because you do a lot of speaking in your job.
I do a ton of speaking in my job. But when I'm speaking in my job, I'm teaching and I'm working with students, and I'm hoping that what I do makes sense to them, and I'm hoping that what I do makes a difference. But sometimes you gotta wait 5, 8, 10 years, 15 years until you see what that tree that you planted looks like. And ever since I've been in Toastmasters, I've enjoyed the fact that I could help adults on that same pathway. I can help a lot of adults the same way that I help students. I wanted to be in Toastmasters. It was an accident, really, at first. I'd heard about it, but once I joined, I found all these wonderful people who enjoyed the craft of speaking, the art of speaking, and I wanted to be around people who enjoyed it the same way that I did.
Wonderful. Jennifer, I'll pass it to you.
Well, we have Zoe as well. And Zoe, tell us also, what about your first experience as walking into a Toastmasters meeting?
Thanks for this question, Jennifer. I joined the Toastmasters 8 years ago in South China, Shenzhen, and I was eagerly wanting to exploring my networks because I made a decision that time to become a freelancer. And then was like, oh no, I'm not going to have coworkers and career path, and I need to take responsibility of my own personal growth. And then I visited some events in big cities. And what attracts me most about Toastmaster is the agenda. Well, I've been to many events, but you don't know when it's going to start, when it's going to end. And you don't know the speaker, when they pick up the microphone, how long they're going to talk. Because sometimes they talk and talk and keep talking.
Where's that red card?
What I love most is the agenda, which means the professionalism there, because everyone has a role and you know how long it takes. And especially there's an objective there. I love that. That's why I stay from that time till now and in the future.
Nice. I love that there was an agenda because of the fact that it's always the same. Whenever you walk into any Toastmasters meeting, you have an agenda, you have the time frame, you know who's speaking, and that's pretty powerful that you can walk into any Toastmasters meeting and have that. We're actually having an open house in one of my Toastmasters club Friday, and I am doing the speech, and I'm talking about the mentor program and the protege program. Fursey, who was your mentor and what kind of impact did you get from that?
That's a great question. I didn't really have a mentor when I first joined in Shanghai, but it was in Texas, in my club called Afterburners in Fort Worth, Texas, where two ladies were my mentors. And one was Setma Maddox, and she really helped me with things outside the club. And the other one was Laura, and she helped me with things inside the club. And both these ladies, veterans, been in Toastmasters for over 20 years, and they really helped me gain the confidence I needed to be an officer and to be a mentor myself. Fantastic ladies.
Yeah, I love the mentorship. And that's why when we were having our open house, and of course, I'm working on my different levels of pathways where it's time to speak. And I thought that would be powerful enough to be able to, when we do have guests, to be able to speak about that program, because it does make a difference in the program and in your life. So one question that we're all dying to know: how did you get that confidence to go speak at World Champion of Public Speaking? It's a process, right? And it's tiring. So tell us about that journey.
I gotta tell you, I think if everyone were honest, they'd probably say they never had the confidence to go speak at the World Championships. I think it's just, okay, I won this contest, and then people push you into the next door. And you get past that door and they push you into the next door. And so, like anything, it's a learning experience. And every time you go there, it's a learning experience. Now, you can remain calm and you can keep that smile, but it's like a duck, right? You're calm on the top and paddling furiously on the bottom. And you can go into the green room and see everybody, and they're just, they're processing. They're just like everybody else. They're processing, and they're trying to get it all together inside of their head. But I think it's a great experience for anybody to do. And don't wait until you have that confidence. Just go through the door and the confidence will be upon you.
Who was the one that was pushing you through the doors? Was it the district leadership or was it Zoe?
Zoe's my club president, by the way. She's been doing great. She just became voted in president, just came and joined us, and she's been fantastic. I mean, you talk about someone who stepped in the door and showed confidence. She just joined our club from another part of China, and she's a DTM, but she used that kind of confidence and stepped right up and said, yeah, I'm willing to run for officership. And she really helped our club out. But I think that's the great thing about Toastmasters, isn't it? We get confidence from a lot of different people. And we have a lot of different people pushing us and moving us forward and mentoring us to go forward. And you never know who that person's going to be who's going to whisper something in your ear.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. And it's kind of shocking when they whisper. I mean, it's a gentle whisper, but it's amazing how you do get that confidence. I was asked to be public relations manager of the district, I think after a year of being in Toastmasters, and I ran it for 2 years and they still wanted me to continue. And I'm like, no, somebody else can do it. But it's always that gentle whisper, and that people are actually watching you to be able to say, hey, you can do this. Now, Zoe, it sounds like you went to this club and you said, okay, I'll be president because everybody's going like this. And are you in district leadership as well, or are you?
Yeah, so my Toastmaster journey basically it's like stage one. I'm really into contests. I join the contest every time, except when I was serving as area director and division director during the COVID years. I made that decision also because I kind of thinking COVID pandemic times, it's challenge for the district in China. And then because I already have some experiences at that time, so I thought that was the time for me to serve. So my 2 years as area and division directors was the COVID times. So a lot of Zoom meetings. And then I achieved the DTM in 2021. And after that, that was like, what's next? What's next? Some Toastmaster friends, they propose that maybe you can go for, district, the trail. But I was like, no, I probably want to start from club level again because I like to be connected with club members, guests. That's why I joined the Fursey clubs in Hangzhou and serve as the president this term.
Doris is kind of like that. She says she doesn't want to do the district. She wants to stay in the clubs, and she likes to compete as well. Doris, do you have any questions?
Speaking of competing, Fursey, we are in contest season right now, and some of us are writing our speeches or fine-tuning our speeches. You have gone to district so many times and beyond. What is that perfect speech title, and how do we pull the heartstrings of those judges?
Oh, that's a great question. First thing, your title should arouse curiosity, but not give an answer until the very last line of your speech. Arouse curiosity and not give an answer until the very last line of your speech, because that's when it should all come together. And I know we're supposed to give the format for the speech, we're supposed to give the blueprint for the speech right at the very beginning, and that's okay. But let's not give all the answers away at the beginning. Let's make sure we leave a little something for the audience to put together in their minds at the end. And that's the key. It's not about reaching out for the judges, and it's not about reaching out for the trophy. It's about reaching out for our audience and trusting the process. And if we're understanding what our audience needs from us, and then being able to reach to them and give them what they need and engage them and move them forward on their journey, can we be that spark that moves them onto their journey? The rest is going to take care of itself.
I love that. I love that. So how do you find your topics, and how do you research your topics? How does that process work?
I think our lives are full of stories. I think our lives are full of stories. They are full of people in our own families, people under our own roofs, the trials and tribulations that we have. There's a play, it's not very famous, but there is a play called The Rivers and Ravines. And I think oftentimes our lives are like rivers and ravines. And sometimes we are gushing and it is rushing and it's you're riding rapids, and other times it's a little more parched. And maybe things aren't flowing the way we want them to, and it's a little bit of a struggle. Whether you're in a river or whether your life is a ravine, whether you're in a groove or whether you're in a rut, there's something to be told. There is a story to be told. And we have to look at those little steps that we take in our life and be able to talk about those steps and be able to pull stories out of them, and then to be able to pull truth out of them, be able to pull a universal truth. What can we learn from this experience? Because somebody out there is looking for some piece of inspiration. Somebody out there is looking to get back in the game. Somebody out there is looking for a reason to get up off the ground. And there's going to be something that we say that does that.
Do you have a favorite place that you go to write? Like I have a river, a forest area, a river that I'll go sit by. You know, there's big rocks there, there's picnic tables, and that's where I love to go write. Do you have a favorite place that inspires you around you?
I used to love sitting in my truck with the music blaring. And I don't care how cold it is outside, Doris. I am rolling down the window. I'm cranking up the heat. I have got the music going. And that's where we get the word muse, right? Our muse, music. And that's what feeds me. And I'll do that wherever that may be. It used to be in an open Jeep, and then it was in a truck. Now that I'm in China, I don't have that truck anymore, but I'll go walking, and I've got the earbuds in because I don't want to interrupt everybody else's world with my music. But we're all friends here, right? And it's just the four of us, right?
And Facebook Live. Just wanted to make sure you knew that.
Yeah, I got you. But you know, it's not necessarily that you listen to your whole playlist. When you find that song, let that song feed you. And go ahead, hit repeat. Play that song over and over and over. And as you're writing, you're going to start to find that rhythm. You're going to find that rhythm in the song. And that's going to infuse your creativity. That's going to bring out some of the best things in yourself. And it may not come from here. It may come from down here. It may come from the gut. It may come from some places that, oh boy, if I open this up, I don't know what's going to come out. Right? What kind of Pandora's box you got? What kind of Pandora's box you got? Let the music do what it's supposed to do. And I think you'll find that you'll have some writing and some words that will be awfully inspired.
That's awesome.
I have something to say really quick.
Sure, go ahead.
That Fursey, I knew that it was a Jeep. I own a Jeep, and that's what Jeep drivers do. They take off the tops, take off the doors, turn up the heat. Who cares how cold it is? That's what we do, blast our heat and let the cold air in. So as soon as you said that, I'm like, he owns a Jeep.
Absolutely. Hey, you get out to those red rocks? You get out to Red Rock Canyon?
Mm-hmm.
I knew you would. I knew you. I know what neck of the woods you're in. I know you would.
It's beyond the freeway is usually when I post videos. I said, this is what happens when you see beyond the freeway. It's behind the mountains. There's trails out there. It's amazing. So Doris has a question for Zoe, I think. Yes.
I love that visual when you're talking. It's like,
yeah,
to Las Vegas, and I need to go soon. So you talked about connecting with your club members. What are some different ways that you connect with them, that you make the club stronger and it's more, it feels more cohesive?
Thanks, Doris. One thing I think we all have seen is that Toastmasters come and go. I mean, there are people who come here probably for a few months and they leave. One topic Fursey and I have been discussing a lot recently is like why people stay and why people leave. It's not enough. Like we love it and we think Toastmasters is so great, but we also need to look at like why people leave this wonderful community. And we think probably it's like how to, connect them better. Because one thing all Toastmaster clubs do are having this regular meetings with that standard agenda. But if we look at specific clubs case by case, take my club as example. Actually, we can do much better in like mentorship system, because not all new members in our clubs, they have mentors to guide them, especially for the first few speeches. And then we kind of also do something new here. For one thing, we want to give a shout out to Fursey, is that we have a WeChat group, which is kind of like WhatsApp group. We have a mini speech. So every day, Fursey posts one question in that group. And that's kind of like table topics. And everyone is encouraged to give a speech there. And also everyone is encouraged to give an evaluation. So that's a way to keep everyone engaged, not only in that regular meeting, but every day. And the other thing is like we kind of using another tool which called the Clifton Strengths Finder. That is to find your talents, because we in Toastmasters, we provide positive feedbacks. However, personally, I think if we can combine Toastmasters, this meeting and all our resources with some other tools, maybe that's much better. We are now trying to exploring that tool with our officers team. So we based on that assessment to discover everyone's strengths, your talents. And based on that, we have some, ASCOM meetings. Then we know how we can cooperate better in such a short term. Because in mainland China, because we have meetings every week, so the officer term is only half a year, 6 months. It's just 20 meetings. How can you really build the synergy of a team? That's our challenge. So we use we add more tools here. Yeah.
I like that idea, Doris. Did your light bulb come on?
Well, I am a member of one of the WhatsApp groups, but I like all your ideas. Like, I think every club needs to, be a little bit more creative and keep in mind why our members are in our club. And I know just last night I misdialed and I phoned Michael, a member of our club, by accident, thinking I was phoning somebody else. And I talked to him for an hour and a half.
Oh my goodness.
I said, this is wonderful, because I had the opportunity to know him as a person. And yes, what are his talents? What is he wanting to look for as a member of our club? Our club is Toastmasters in the Kitchen. We're a cooking club. So that was a misdial, but it was a wonderful experience. And I think I'll do that more often, because as club president, as yourself, Zoe, we do need to keep connected with all our members. For sure.
I just hear a title of a speech called Misdialed. Zoe and Fursey, it's really interesting. While I'm preparing for my speech and trying to memorize, I'm not a very good memorize speech giver. And you said some of the things that I've said in my speech, and it's about serving. It's a community. It is education, and we learn so much from each other. Oh yes, and skills that other people possess, right? Because that makes you a coach. I have the skill I can help you with for your short-term goals. See, I'm trying to memorize my speech. So I think that the program Toastmasters International is a program, and it's international, and no matter where we are all learning the same thing. Everybody has different goals, but we're still learning the same thing where we are achieving our goals. I am super glad that we got a chance to be able to talk to you guys. One question for both of you. These are our the rapid fire question. But it's just one question. And first Fursey, we have passerbyers, the purpose of this show is to get somebody intrigued about Toastmasters. If there is one thing that you can say to somebody who's passing by and saying, oh, what's this all about? What would you tell them about Toastmasters?
It's the opportunity to find the very best you. You just think you know who you are. But like an onion, you got to peel yourself back one layer at a time. And you're going to find that there's something amazing there that you never thought you'd ever discover about yourself. My cat.
Wow. I like that. Zoe's like, I already have it in my brain. Same question.
What I believe is that here you can always keep exploring, because I visited more than 100 clubs face-to-face in mainland China, in 20 plus cities, and then COVID hit. Then I shifted my journey to travel virtually and visit online Toastmasters clubs to more than 20 countries. I even joined a Toastmasters club in St. Petersburg, Russia, and joined hybrid contest there this year. These are all new experiences to me. So what amazes me, and if you are listening to these interviews like this, again, it's like Jennifer has mentioned, it's international platform. What I believe is globalization and the mobility in our age. We are all traveling, moving, and with the technology, why not combine your lifestyle with this fantastic platform, Toastmasters International, as Doris' background shows, that kind of, word globally. So that's what's beautiful here. You're going to connect with beautiful minds, beautiful people globally. And it's always something new there.
I love it. Doris, we're just about out of time. Do you have any other questions?
Where else would you like to travel, Zoe, that you haven't been to? Have you been to Canada, Zoe? I know Fursey has. He was in our district, visiting our district, I think it would be kind of in Toronto, around the Toronto area in Canada. So where is one place that you haven't been? Have you been to Canada, Zoe?
Not yet. I'm going to visit you soon, Doris. Promise.
Good, thank you. Wonderful. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you too for joining us this morning. It's morning for me, or this evening for you. And I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. We will post this. I did post it already on the official Toastmasters International group, and then on a couple of our local ones. And then if you can find it, it is called the Club Growth D115. So if you can find it and share it amongst your clubs as well, especially in your WhatsApp group too. I have to show Doris how to do that to make sure you can copy and paste that into it. So hopefully we will.
I'm sorry, we should ask Fursey, how can anybody reach you if they'd like to reach you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a great question. Gotuacof@yahoo.com. Gotuacof@yahoo.com. Or you could always Google search Fursey. There's only like 3 of us in the world.
Thank you.
I have one more question. If somebody is on their journey to world champion of public speaking, would you assist them as well, Fursey?
I assist anybody and I assist everybody.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Anybody who's on that journey to world champion of public speaking, reach out to Fursey. Make sure if you see Zoe knocking on your Zoom door, let her in, because she has a mission to visit everybody and Toastmasters International. And I'm sure that our journey has not ended. I'm sure we will see each other again on our lovely program, because there's so much more to ask and to find out about you, because there's experience out there and everybody wants to know. I'm hoping that it's riveting and that they're like, bring them back. So I will end this program. You guys will see myself and Doris next Wednesday. And then tomorrow you'll see Phyllis and Scott. And on Friday, you will see Jean. So have a good day, everyone. It's hump day. Woo, woo.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Doris.
Thank you.
You are
Thanks.
welcome.